Tonight, a youth pastor found guilty of sexually abusing a 13-year-old girl from the St. Louis area has learned his sentence. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the night off. Today, a judge sentenced New York pastor Jeffrey Vargas to 160 months in prison, followed by lifetime supervision. Now, after over a decade after the abuse, the victim is coming forward with a message to others. 5 on your side's Elise Schoenig shares her story. And Elise, how did this all begin?
So Jeffrey Vargas met Molly Rogers when she was 11 at a church camp in Michigan. The abuse started when she was 13, and now at almost 25 today, she told us she's finally found her voice after everything she's been through.
This was not a boogeyman. This was not a stranger. This was someone who was very well trusted.
24-year-old Hazelwood resident Molly Rogers knew her sexual abuser Jeffrey Vargas well.
There was not intimidation in a classical sense early on in this. There was love bombing. There was complete flattery to the point it felt too good to be true for a lonely child.
The two met when she was just 11 years old at a church camp in Michigan where he was a youth pastor. Rogers says first he took advantage of her vulnerability, and then by age 13, he'd taken advantage of everything.
But especially reprehensible was the fact that he held a position of trust as a religious and spiritual leader for a youth group.
Rogers says Vargas took over her life, constantly texting and calling. She says he became close to her family and made her abandon friends and religion. The two flew back and forth to visit each other from Hazelwood to his home in New York.
When I did have to tell my family, those memories are some of the most painful throughout this entire ordeal, and they're also some of the most valuable.
Years went by before Rogers finally found her voice. Now she wants to continue to use it to help other children going through any form of abuse.
The most important thing here today is to protect anyone else who may find themselves in the position that I was put in.
Rogers says Vargas's damage will last her whole life, but she says she's ready to be remembered not by his actions, but by the bravery of her own words.